Hello troglodytes, and welcome back to another video. So, in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at Linux Mint, because everyone and their grandmother is talking about it, and has been recommending it, has been using it, so I gotta see what's going on. It seems pretty cool. So we're going to take a look at that, and tips to help stay private online. So, let's get into it. Alright, so let's get into it. So, this is the download page for Linux Mint. And I've never really used this before, as I've said, so this will be exciting to dive in. I guess we're going to download the Cinnamon Edition, because that is their flagship one, and that's the one I want to take a look at. So, and of course, we're going to plug this back into the subject, because in the previous video, we installed that weird version of KDE Linux on there. But, we don't need that on there. So instead, this is going to be our Minty boy. Our Minty boy, our Minty computer. And here we are. We're at the desktop. Okay. This is just the classic wallpaper I've seen everybody seems to use here. Okay, well, those are kind of nice. Nice little icons down here. I like those. I like those. Okay. Well, we can explore it in a minute. First, I want to look at their installer. I'm just gonna double click on the installer. Ooh, it's fun. I like their little, it's just kind of a fun. Look at that little, the busy animation is kind of fun there. Going wee. Alright. So, this is their installer. This is nice. Very simple. You like it. Okay. I don't like that. So we're gonna hit continue. Alright, English US, English US. It's very clean looking. I do like how clean looking it is. It's very nice. Alright, install. Yep, I want those. Give me the multimedia codecs. So this is based on the Ubuntu 22.04 LTS, which is nice. It's my very, very strong. It's my very strong and secure password. Yep, alright. I do not need to encrypt my home folder, but if you want to do that, you can, which is very nice. Which will just kind of keep your files safe and more protected. And you do have to have you have to remember your encryption password, so that is something to keep in mind if you do encrypt your disk. If you don't remember the password to decrypt it, then good luck. So, but if you're going to use this in like a business or something where you really care about security, then that's probably a good thing to have. Oh, this is fun, like a little welcome thing here. So it says, welcome to Linux Mint. Welcome, and thank you for choosing Linux Mint. This slideshow will bring you around. Okay. So while you're waiting for it to do its thing, you can kind of say, okay, so here's this. We have featured software. It comes with Firefox, Netflix, and YouTube. Interesting. You can be productive. We have all the whole LibreOffice suite. All right. We have entertainment stuff. 30,000 free applications from the software manager. Okay. So like Steam and Google Earth and Dropbox and Blender. You can run your Windows software with VirtualBox, so emulation and Wine, and you can get help. Alright, so that's a pretty good little, especially for newcomers. That's like, oh look, all of your favorite software is already in here. So that's super nice. Alright, welcome to your new operating system. This welcome screen will guide you through all the stuff you need to use. Okay, I always grab the wrong mouse. That's fine. Let's go! Show this dialog at startup. Well, okay. So what are the first steps? Okay, so we can change the desktop colors. First, make yourself at home. Choose your favorite color, whether you prefer bright or dark. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I want dark. Ooh. I want the, what does this mean? In mixed mode, most applications are light, some elements are dark. I saw that. Choose the colors there. Oh, wait a second. So, oh, I see they just updated that. Okay, so these are just kind of choosing what kind of color theme you want. It's a little bit subtle, but you can kind of see down here. As I click on these, so now these are going to turn green. Yep. These multicolor ones are interesting. So some things are going to be like blue and some things are going to be this more tan color, I guess. I don't know. Let's go to that one. We can do advanced settings. What are the advanced settings? Bebada. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so we can customize our cursor if you want. We can have a dot cursor. That's fun. We can have this one. We can have this one. It's kind of nice. You can kind of choose what buttons you like. I do like the that dark blue look. That's kind of nice. Maybe aqua, dark aqua. Oh, okay, okay. Kind of like the dark blue, a little bit nicer. Maybe we can choose dark purple. You can kind of change it if you want. You know, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go, we're actually doing the dark purple. Add or remove. Okay, so if you want to, oh, wait a minute. Oh, is this user themes you can download right from the thing? Okay. Oh, look at that. Okay. If you really want some crazy custom theme, you can do that over here. Windows 10. Okay. Railway. Jade, cinnamon, sort by popularity, sort by installed. What's the most installed? This one. Can I look at it? Can I? Are there any other pictures here? Or is that's just this? Well, there's that. You can install themes if you want. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Dark mode. Show icons on buttons. What does that do? It'll show icons on buttons. Why not? We're turning that on. So you can really customize this to your heart's content. So we're gonna close that. System snapshots, okay. So you can set up automatic snapshots. A minimum of 2 daily and 2 boot snapshots are recommended. Okay, I like that. I like that idea. Okay. Snapshots are not scheduled at fixed times. A maintenance task runs once every hour and creates snapshots as needed. Boot snapshots are created with a delay of 10 minutes after system startup. Snapshots will be created at select intervals if snapshot has enough disk space greater than 1 gigabyte. Okay, stop cron. Alright, so we're gonna do that daily. It's gonna do my root folder and my home folder. And it's gonna exclude all files. Oh, I see. So you don't want, if you don't want these, include. So this is gonna say what files you. Why would I want it to be excluded by default? Huh. I guess if I don't need it backing up all my documents or whatever, it can include only the hidden files, include all the files. Just gonna leave it on their default. Why not? Okay, so we can do system snapshots. The update manager, there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, so little shield icon down here is the update manager. In your system tree is the update manager. It provides software updates, security updates, and kernel updates. Okay, so let's see if it needs any updates. Why not? Welcome to the update manager. Okay, so we can apply all the security updates, software updates, and this is also where you can see your snapshots and you can roll back if you need to. I'm gonna say okay, it's gonna look for updates, and then this is all the stuff it's gonna update. So I'm just gonna click install updates and we're gonna see if it explodes, I guess. Something tells me that it's gonna be just fine though. A lot of these password dialogues, I guess that's good for security. Okay, now it's doing it. Going wee. All right, so the updates are installed and it's telling me to reboot. Now, other systems will like automatically reboot. It's just telling me I have to. So I guess I can just update it, reboot it when I want to. But it would be nice if they had like an automatic reboot mechanism, kind of like how, you know, GNOME or I guess it's really just the KDE one that does that. But so yeah, so what the recording Trog wanted to tell you was he's talking about KDE Discover. So the KDE Discover store that has the automatic reboot mechanism. And the other thing that recording Trog messed up with was that he accidentally recorded the face cam for the entire rest of the video and ruined all the footage. So I'm just we're gonna jump back in here and try that again. So we're back here. Here's the Linux Mint login screen, which I think looks very nice. Here's my boy right here. Let me just, whoopsies, let me pull that up. Yeah, you can get involved. You can do all sorts of things. And I think that's what people really need to do a lot more, is just kind of get out and get involved in things, you know? So yeah, we kind of saw like it comes with a lot of cool stuff, right? So here's, ooh, it comes with some games, comes with mines, comes with, this is some of the stuff they were talking about in the little installer slideshow. Like here's the Pix app and here's Color Paint and, well, you know, I installed that before. So when you're setting up a new computer, a new Linux system, what most people, so if you're used to like Windows and Mac OS or whatever, what most people will try to do is they'll fire up their web browser. They're like, oh, I want to install, you know, whatever. I've heard about, here's this LibreOffice or this OnlyOffice thing, you know? So they do it the Windows way, which is they Google OnlyOffice. They go to the website, you know, here's the OnlyOffice website. No, they click on the correct mouse button. And they're like, oh, run your private, okay, so get it, what do I go, download, okay, they go to the download link. Oh god, which version? The desktop app, I guess, I don't know which one to download. Linux, that's the operating system I'm on. Oh geez, a Debian, Ubuntu, this one. And you might go and you might download the deb package, and that's okay, right? Like that'll work, I can do that. But I guess I'll just let it download. Now, technically you can do this, but it's not going to stay automatically updated. You're going to have to keep re-downloading it from here every time. Now, what you can do, the easiest way to install apps and stuff on Linux is to go to your software manager. Here we go. It's literally called Software Manager here in Linux Mint. And we can make that full screen. Whee! And this, so the software manager right here, this is going to be your central repository of all the apps available for your particular Linux distribution. So like, you know, we have all of your favorites like Inkscape and Google Earth, which I think is depreciated. Now it's the one online, but that's okay. You know, Calibri, which is a good ebook manager if you're looking for something like that. You know, there's GIMP, there's Blender, there's various WhatsApp clients, there's games, there's all sorts of good stuff in here. Because again, this is how you're supposed to install software on Linux. You're not supposed to go to the internet. You're supposed to go to your distribution's file manager. So if we wanted to install OnlyOffice, what we would do is we open the Software Center, we search OnlyOffice, we wait for it to search, and we go here, it'll find the one for my system, and we click install. And that's it. It'll install it for you, and it'll keep it updated, so you don't have to worry about, oh, is it out of date? Oh, I have to go download it from the internet, and I have to go do all this stuff. No, it's okay. Don't worry. this will take care of everything for you. In some distributions, your software center is your central update manager. So you go into your software center, you go to the updates tab, and that will update everything on your computer. So it's not just your, it's not like on Windows where it's like, oh, here are Windows updates and security updates, and oh, it broke everything, and blah, 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 blah. Nope, on most Linux distributions, your software manager will update everything in your computer in one beautiful click, which is super nice. In Linux Mint, it's the, as we saw before, it's the update. There's a separate tool for that called the Update Manager, which I guess it's okay to kind of make it all modular and to break things out like that, but there's that. So that's how you would install apps. And now Only Office is ready, and I can just launch the app right here, and it's already installed on my system, which is like super duper nice. And then I can go in here, I can create a new document, and bada bing, bada boom. Now, one of the things that I downloaded in the previous clip, where I was accidentally recording not the screen the whole time, is I downloaded LibreWolf. Now, LibreWolf is the, it's a community-based project, which most of these open source apps are, which is super nice. And, yeah, this is LibreWolf is an independent fork of Firefox with the primary goals of security and user freedom. It's a community-run successor to LibreFox. So, I've only ever known it as LibreWolf, and it's not associated with Mozilla. So this is based on Firefox, but it's their own fork of it. It's their own take of it, and it's built on the latest version of Firefox. So it has all the security features from the Firefox builds, but they've kind of tuned it to be a lot more secure and private than the regular Firefox. So if you're super security minded and privacy minded, like I am, so I have it installed already. So yeah, so if you're super kind of privacy minded and security minded like I am, well, it's okay, so go into the settings right here. And it's very much secure by default. So the default search engine is DuckDuckGo, which is kind of like Google, but a lot better because they don't have as many. They do have the little AI summary at the top, but you can turn that off. There's a lot fewer advertisements and stuff, and I think the search results are a lot better, so try out DuckDuckGo. If you're tired of Google and all the stuff they're doing, just try out something else. It won't try to show you too many suggestions. I mean, it doesn't even have Google in here, which is pretty crazy. So there's some other search engines in there. Let's in search. Under privacy and security, again, it has strict protection at all times. So it's going to block social media trackers. It's going to block cross-site cookies. It's going to block tracking content. It's gonna block crypto miners. It's gonna block fingerprinting apps and utilities. It's gonna tell websites not to share your data. It's gonna delete cookies when LibreWolf is closed. So basically what that'll mean is, websites will try to leave cookies in your computer, which are little bits of information that'll store something, right? So it's like, oh, this is a cookie for saving your settings. So maybe, you went to youtube.com and you logged in. So it'll remember that you've logged into the site. And it'll remember that, oh, I liked dark mode before. So it can, and the next time you go back to YouTube, it will tell you, it'll remain in dark mode because that's what you set before. That's what the cookie does. But what advertisers can do with cookies is they can say, oh, well, they can have maybe some little thing on all sorts of websites that'll track what you're doing. So it's like, oh, you've been going to all these different shopping websites, and we can build a profile on you that way based on how it will kind of track you around the internet, which is not really a fan of that. So if you delete the cookies every time you close your web browser, then it makes them a lot harder to track you because it makes it a lot harder to build that profile of all the data and all that kind of good stuff. So the only downside with deleting cookies every time you close your web browser is that websites aren't going to remember who you are because, again, you're trying to be private and, anonymous. So you're gonna have to log back into everything every time, and it's not gonna, websites aren't gonna remember your preferences because the cookies aren't there for them to load from. You don't have to worry about the stupid cookie pop-ups anymore because it doesn't matter. You can just close them and let the websites do whatever they want. Because your web browser's not going to remember any of that stuff anyway. So you can do all that, which is good. It's not going to ask to save passwords by default, which is very good for security, because a lot of things you might download might be, you know, info stealers and other stuff that you could get in malicious attachments or whatever. And having all of your passwords saved in your web browser is a great way to get everything stolen. Because it's really easy for various tools just to extract your previous browsing sessions from your web browser and then download all your cookies and stuff. So again, that's why it's great to just keep all your cookies deleted. And then they can just be logged in to all the sites that you were logged into before, like if you were logging into your bank or whatever and you didn't log back out, or if you did this and you didn't log back out, because it's hard to remember, right? It's hard to remember to log back out of everything every time, and you don't want to do that because you just want to get on with your life. Well, this will make it easy for you, and it'll make it a lot harder for info stealers and stuff to steal everything, because there's no data in there for them to steal. So that helps you. That helps a lot for keeping you nice and safe and secure. Whoops, that's the wrong mouse. It'll make sure all your security certificates are valid, and it has HTTPS only mode in all windows. So what this means is it will force every website to give you a secure connection. So typical HTTP is unsecured, so it's just, there's no security protocols in place. So, you know, nothing's encrypted, nothing's secured, anything like that. So if you're doing anything sensitive, well, anybody who's snooping on your connection can see that. But if you force everything to be, if you force all websites to use HTTP secure, which uses all sorts of fancy TLS security, and it's like super mega encrypted and all that kind of good stuff, it makes it really hard for people who are snooping on your connection to see things. So if you're browsing in coffee shops, or if you're just, you know, you want security, it's going to do that by default. Now, I think most web browsers are going to do that by default, but it's good to know that this is going to do that as well. And then finally, you can do DNS over HTTPS. So what that means, so DNS server is a domain name lookup. Basically, it's like, oh, I want to go to google.com. And, well, your web browser doesn't know what google.com is. It needs an IP address, or like, you know, a location. So it's like, oh, you know, 449 Downing Street or whatever. It needs to know where to go on the internet. And what a domain name server will do is your computer will be like, I want to go to google.com. Then the domain name server is like, okay, let me look that up. Okay. Here's the IP address for google.com. It'll give that back to your computer, to your web browser, and then it'll give the IP address to your web browser. And then your web browser can then go connect to that IP address, and it can do all the handshakes and all the security stuff. And forcing this over a secure connection will again make it a lot harder for, you know, bad actors and stuff to see what you're doing, right? So in my case, I have that off by default, which is sometimes good, because if you're using, like, you know, if you have your own solution for that, you don't want this interfering with that. But, you know, if you want to use their DNS servers, you can do that. And if you want to have, you know, use their security systems, you can do that. So that's pretty good. So that's the nice thing about LibreWolf, the nice secure web browser. And there's some browser extensions you can install, such as Privacy Badger. So yeah, so Privacy Badger is an add-on that will stop advertisers and trackers from secretly tracking you everywhere you go and what pages you look at on the web. If an advertiser or other third party seems to be tracking you across multiple websites without your permission, Privacy Badger automatically blocks them from loading any more content in your browser. So yeah, what Privacy Badger will do is it will use their advanced algorithms developed by the Electronic Frontier Foundation to determine, oh, is this website like, oh, maybe these websites, there's some common analytics tool, like, you know, Google Analytics or Meta Analytics or whatever, that seems to be on different websites. And it's, you know, maybe it's leaving cookies or it's leaving suspicious traces or whatever. This will be able to detect that and block them from continuing to track you and collect your data and, you know, try to sell you things and do whatever. So this is a pretty essential browser add-on to have. It'll help you a lot with that. And then the last thing, obviously, is having a good ad blocker. So yeah, I think the previous me made some good clips about that, so we can just defer to him. All right, peace out. Alrighty then, so over here we have our LibreWolf web browser with uBlock Origin, which is the best ad blocker on the planet right now. Now, this is probably why you'd want uBlock Origin. As we go to speedtest.net with the computer that doesn't have any ad blockers on it. And see, it's kind of slow. It's taking a bit for it to figure itself out. And it should just be plastered. Yeah, here we go. Look at all the ads. Look at all the ads everywhere. The whole page is just filled with ads. There's only those two, but looks like it's trying to load more in the background. Well, it's trying to find the optimal server. Whereas over here with LibreWolf with uBlock Origin, oh look, it's slowly loading more. This is probably going to load quite a bit quicker. You can see that. Look at that. Look at all those ads. It's just loading so much stuff. Look, so much stuff around the web page that you just don't need or care about, and who knows what kind of stuff this is running in the background, right? What kind of weird JavaScript, what kind of weird cookies is it putting on your computer? Is it trying to track you? Like, what's it trying to do, right? Whereas this is just ready, you know? I can just click go. It's not gonna load any of that stuff. That's why uBlock Origin is so nice, because it just cleans up your experience and it gets rid of all this stuff that you don't need. So that's pretty good. Whee! And yeah, those are some of my tips to stay private online, is to have an ad blocker on a Firefox based web browser. So yeah, Linux Mint is really great. It has lots of really cool tools. You know, it has a really nice software manager. It has lots of nice utilities to help you manage everything, like system snapshots and updating and changing your themes and all that kind of good stuff. And overall, I agree with what most people have to say, that it is a very good beginner Linux distro. I think it's probably one of the best. The only thing is it does run an older kernel, so if you want to run this on bleeding edge hardware, that might not work super well. But if you're like most people and you're running a computer that's not the absolute latest and greatest thing, it should work just fine. If you want to get out from under the thumb of big tech, you know, join the Clippy Collective. You probably noticed I changed my profile picture to a Clippy because, yeah, I want to get out from under the thumb of big tech, and this is what I'm going to do about it. So, telling people to use LibreWolf or Firefox in general with uBlock Origin to help block all those ads and, you know, really stick it to the damn advertisers, right? And, you know, Privacy Badger to help block trackers and all this kind of good stuff. So, yeah, you know, you're not alone out there. There's tons of other people who also care about privacy and security and who want to make the world a better place. So, get out there and join them. All right, that's about it. Bye.